I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Which one is it?
The one that says bad motherfucker.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
And totally redeem yourself.
I feel you.
Welcome to What's Trending, a podcast covering all topics of interest in pop culture. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I'm your host, Chris Lucky, and this is the very first episode that will be recorded for the show. I guess a little bit of background about me. Besides my name, Chris Lucky, yes, that is my name. That's not a stage name. It's just actually a real name. I went to a video production school at Art Institute, got an associate's degree there, and picked up a lot of audio engineering technicalities, I guess, and that's what's really led me here. But on this very first episode, we're going to have a guest. It's someone that's been on another podcast that I'm a part of called For Film's Sake. She's been on there maybe 7 to 10 times. Someone that I have a really good rapport with, so I believe that she's really going to help this episode and episodes of the future. So I want to go ahead and announce my guest, Lauren Melilani Kalukag.
Ooh, yeah. Christopher, good job with the name. Yeah. Hey everybody, as he introduced me, Lauren Melilani Kalukag, but you know, y'all can keep me in your mind as Lo. Just a little bit about me, really. I'm just your everyday, neighborhood-friendly, angry little Asian girl.
All right. Like Spider-Man or something like that. Your local neighborhood-friendly Asian girl.
Yeah, I'm like the girl next door that kind of confuses you.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, as this show is a very topical show, so we're talking about the things that are trending each week. So let's get straight into what was happening this week. Some of this information is going to be a little bit backdated as this is the first episode, so it all won't be everything that happened in this past 7 days. Some of it will be a little more past 2 weeks, past 3 weeks. But one of the bigger stories that happened is the cancellation of a television show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But wait, cancellation?
Cancellation.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was canceled.
I don't know.
But so Brooklyn Nine-Nine got canceled by Fox, I believe, last week, a week and a half ago or so. So they're all believing that the show is canceled. It was the number one trending topic on Twitter for like a whole day. You know, number one up there. You know, that they're canceled. So Terry Crews, I was listening to him talk on Desus and Mero, and he's giving a play-by-play, like real-time how it's happening.
Yeah.
So he gets an email says the show's been canceled. He's like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Like on the show, he gets the email?
Oh, he's on a show called $100,000 Pyramid.
Okay.
And he's about to go do that with Michael Strahan, and he gets an email saying Brooklyn Nine-Nine canceled right as he's about to go on stage. And he's like, oh,
God.
What the hell? You know, so the show's over, and then it was like, oh, Netflix says that they might be picking us up. And it was like, oh, cool, we're good now, we're good. You know, then a couple hours later, it was like, nope, Netflix passed. You know, it was like, well, crap.
Wasn't Brooklyn Nine-Nine exclusively on Hulu?
Fox.
Well, at Fox.
Just on Fox.
And then Fox and Hulu have a partnership, so.
But they didn't have them picked up individually on Hulu.
Okay.
I'm about to get to that too, though.
Oh, okay.
So then they say Hulu may be picking up the show so we can run live episodes, you know, new episodes, fresh episodes. Hulu passed. Hulu passed. They weren't going to pick the show up.
So no from Netflix and no from Hulu.
Yeah. So Hulu said they weren't going to produce the show. Like, they'll air like old shows or whatever, but they're not going to produce the show for them.
Which they're already doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Hulu passed on him. So he said he went to bed, you know, thinking that they just don't have a show. Wake up the next morning and guess what? Guess what?
What?
They're back.
Ah, I knew it.
Yep. ABC picked them up. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine is back. Really glad that they got another chance. Even though it's like I'm not watching like every season. I've seen a number of episodes and it's really smart comedy. Reminds me.
I've seen a few. It's funny.
It reminds me a bit of The Community, how they have like an ensemble cast and everybody's really good at what they do.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, it's a really good show.
How did they get that? I mean, that's crazy. Like, quite literally, the morning of, no show, 24 hours pass. JK, like, how did that happen?
Just kidding. Yep. No, you're back again. I mean, that's a whirlwind of, like, emotion right there.
From what I understand, the pickup was because of internet outrage over the initial cancellation.
It was.
So, I mean, can we just get into that a little bit? Just, like, first of all, how the fuck did they have such quick turnaround?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, first of all, that information, the cancellation wasn't even out for long enough for them to be like, oh, okay, like, let me get into that. So, I mean, it's amazing the power of the fan
Very
base
much.
and internet and just all that good stuff.
Yeah, like before, it's like if you had a problem, then you would have to like write in through actual snail mail, the outrage. But now it's all happening real time. People are upset right now. So the internet is just set on fire. So I mean, I really like that, how the internet and the people's voices are heard immediately.
Yeah, and
That's really nice.
I was actually literally just having a conversation, not but 15 minutes ago, about how social media is really changing up the way how the businesses are working.
Yeah.
How there are people who are not big on it, like I don't need social media to really stake my claim out there, but that's a little outdated. Don't you think?
Yeah. Outdated thinking. I would say so. Something else that was going on in social media. I want to know if you heard this thing because it drove me completely insane. This little clip right here. Tell me what you hear.
Laurel.
Oh fuck, this
Laurel.
thing.
Laurel.
Like what are you hearing when that's playing?
Laurel.
I hear Laurel.
Laurel.
I'm hearing Laurel.
Yeah.
Laurel.
Well, apparently there was a good many people that was hearing Yanny.
Okay, so there's a theory behind this, though, right? So it has to do with the age of your hearing. So partially, right? So a majority of people, I guess, really in our age range, are going to hear Laurel,
yeah.
because it's a lower pitch sound. Whereas people who are a little bit younger than us are going to hear Yanny, because that's the higher pitch sound.
Yes.
So their ears are going to pick up on that. And then someone went ahead and decided to write Laurel and in script that shows both Laurel and Yanny. It's the crazy. It's just like the blue dress, gold dress phenomenon.
Yeah. It upset me so much because it's something that can only happen through social media and through the internet. Because I was having a issue of what's right and what's wrong. All right, so if you have this dress, so in real life, if I'm holding up a blue dress and I'm saying it's blue and black, and you're looking at it and you're just like, no, it's white and gold.
Yeah.
If we're both seeing two completely different things, then what is the objective truth? Because it is a color. It is a certain color. Objectively, it is a color. So if one person sees it differently, then that person has to be colorblind of some kind.
Okay.
But through the internet, the way that it is and pixelated, you're not going to have that same type thing. People are going to see two different things that it's not has anything to do with being colorblind.
Right, exactly.
And that's what we're getting with the Yanny thing. With the Yanny, like you're saying, they are saying Yanny and they are saying Laurel. Yanny is in a high frequency. Laurel is in the low frequency. Yanny is in the high. So it's like they're both happening, but it's just creating a storm over the internet.
I swear, the
troll
third
job.
the third world war is going to be started over something ridiculous like this.
Yes, it is. For Laurel.
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 God.
I can't. I've
Laurel.
yet to hear the Yanny. I don't hear it at all.
I heard the Yanny one time.
One time.
One time I heard the Yanny.
Your ears must have been really cleaned out then.
I took my speaker from my iPhone, put it directly to my ear, and turned it up. That's the only time I naturally heard it. The other time was I put it into some editing software and put the frequency up high just so I could hear the Yanny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, not everybody has access to technology like that, so.
Yeah.
But speaking of the craziness of technology, there's been a few developments on the autonomous Uber accident that happened, I think, back in March. So as of late, it's been disputed whether or not it was the backup driver's fault. Well, for a little background, first of all, so these autonomous Ubers are self-piloted cars, but they do have a human behind the driver's wheel as sort of a backup driver in case anything goes out of whack. Well, the issue is that they didn't know whether or not it was the backup driver's fault.
Yeah.
If it was the driver's or the car's fault, or if it was the victim's fault.
See, that's a lot to decipher.
Yeah, and throwing in that third one there is a huge controversy.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy. It's like, so I was when you read information about like news like that from different outlets, of course you're gonna hear different perspectives.
Yeah.
One that I saw was like really heavily focused on the fact that like it's knowledge that the autonomous portion of the car, the emergency brakes aren't on to avoid any wonky shit happening.
Yeah.
And so that's why they have the backup driver, so that way if there's any hard brakes that need to happen, they have that fail safe.
Okay.
Now the thing is though, is they checked the response time of the driver, and she apparently broke. Tried to emergency brake seconds after they made impact. But the problem is that now they're blaming the driver on a different news media. Not the driver. They're blaming the victim, the person who was murdered, right? For wearing black clothing. And then according to a toxicology report, she was on methamphetamines, and she was high. I'm like, first of all, I've smoked a lot of weed in my day, all right? And ain't nothing has made me walk in front of a fucking car. So you can't blame me on that. Now, the methamphetamines part, I mean, look, I've done a number of psychedelics. I've done, ecstasy, Molly, different shit like that. Still, to this day, have never wanted to walk in front of a fucking car. And so I think they're really reaching, but due to all these different, perspectives, they've totally shut down the autonomous Uber driving in Arizona, I think San Francisco, and a number of different places on the West Coast. So sorry, guys. No self-driving cars just yet.
Hopefully Google can get it together for us.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know.
Skynet, I think, that's when I was reading all this shit, I was like, Skynet.
That's the first thing.
Exactly what's
Skynet is here to take over finally. Arnold, Terminator. I guess besides that, there's something really big that happened in cartoons and animation. I don't know if you recognize this right here. Rick and Morty.
Wubba lubba dub dub!
Rick and Morty is like one of the better cartoons that's come out in the past 10 years or so.
I 100% agree. Along with the regular show.
Oh yes.
I think they did a really good job of making this show topical and also unique at the same time. And I think that Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland do a really, really good job together. Where Justin Roiland is kind of colors outside the lines. Yeah. Dan Harmon provides a sort of structure for him to color outside of. So, and just if you really want to know what Justin Roiland is like without Dan Harmon, just watch what is Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity?
Hilarity for Charity,
Justin Roiland did a little clip for them just so that they would get into the animation algorithm. And I just watch it.
Yes.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
It's worth the 3 minutes of your life that it's going to take. Now, whether or not you'll come out of it the same.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Is debatable. But I'm super excited. 70 episodes. Renewal.
70 episodes. I mean, they're going to get that Szechuan sauce.
You really think that they're gonna build upon that arc? I
mean, what I'm saying, 90 episodes. That was the thing at the end of the season. There was we're gonna get the Szechuan sauce, and that's gonna take 90 episodes. If they went through 2 seasons already, in 70 episodes, they're gonna get to 90.
That's true. That's over triple, right? If I do the math correctly, no. What they already have out. And I actually have, when McDonald's came out with the Szechuan packs, I have one unopened on my desk. But to this day, I don't know what it tastes like.
I don't either.
I heard it sucks, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Not even going to try it.
I could probably honestly sell that Szechuan pack on eBay for 100% of
Somebody buy it. Somebody's going to buy that old stinking ass Szechuan sauce. Somebody's going to buy that. Other than that, there was a video that came out recently, the This Is America.
Oh.
I mean, the video, the song, everything about it. I mean, Donald Glover really came through on this one right here.
All the subliminal, the imagery that he created.
Yeah.
I loved seeing the second it came out. I loved seeing the sort of response it garnered because people were breaking it down, and he really made a statement.
Oh yeah.
With it.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, the dancing, the choreography, the messages that he had in there, the music. I mean, it's something that what he does, he was really able to blend, 2 separate things. One, just being intellectual with and having a message, and then also being able to reach the youth and, provide a music that they can like. So it was really simple and dumbed down, but it was amazing.
It's certainly something that speaks to our generation as what we consider ourselves the outrage generation where we're just too goddamn woke for our own good.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot, what he did with that.
Most definitely. There was there's another story that I seen on Twitter recently.
There's a lot. So
yeah,
I'm
there's been a
interested.
whole lot. There's a 30-year-old who's been living with his parents his entire life, and they say they've been providing him money. They've been trying to get him a job, doing everything they can to get him to move out of the house.
Well, you recently experienced that, right?
What do you
You're 30. You recently moved out of your. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what? I've been out of my parents' house since I was 16.
That's what he wants you to believe, guys. No,
God
I'm
almighty,
just
Lauren.
joshing.
Sheesh.
Just putting your shit out there now. I mean, I haven't really heard much about that. It's pretty fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, so I work for this telemarketing company, and let me tell you, I am amazed by how many people in their like 30s, late 30s, even well into their 40s, are still living with their parents.
Yeah.
And we run their credit as part of the process, and they all consistently have shit credit. I can only imagine why. But I mean, what happened with that?
They took him to court. His parents took him to court.
Oh, his parents took him to court.
His parents took him to court
Shut
so
the
they could evict him.
Okay.
They wanted to evict him from the house.
Yeah.
And apparently he did so much research. Like, he went through, got all these different books and everything, and learning, how he can actually stay there in the house. The most work that he's actually ever done in his life.
More than likely.
Yeah, to try to stay in his parents' house. And the judge commended him. He was like, I appreciate all the work that you did. You did a very good job in defending yourself and supporting your case. But you need to get the fuck up out of your parents' house.
I was like, do not tell me he won that shit.
He did not.
Oh, thank God. Thank
So,
God.
yeah, he's out of there. The judge, after the hearing it, the judge was like,
What the fuck was that?
like, nah, I don't got time to hear nothing about you being a 30-year-old living in your parents' house and try to fight to stay there. Nah, you got to go.
Thank God the justice system finally did something, right?
It did something. So, I mean, yeah, that definitely happened. 30-year-old out of the house. But I'm hoping that with that, and he's getting all this exposure and everything, he actually had to work, maybe that'll change his life a little bit.
Maybe. Oh, speaking of exposure.
Oh.
Have you heard of Nicki Minaj's new fucking boyfriend?
Oh, that is fake.
Is that fake?
Eminem?
Are you sure that's fake?
I'm sure. Well, no, I'm not sure it's fake, but I mean, those are two trolls, so I don't know.
I think it's a huge publicity stunt
Yes.
because Nicki Minaj, especially after that very humbling or probably just embarrassing show on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
She realized how much of her clout that she lost, especially with Cardi B on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's just a huge publicity stunt to stir up the pot a little bit and get her back on everyone's feeds.
I feel you.
No, yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, on Instagram, someone asked her, it was like, so are you and Eminem together? Because you referenced Slim Shady that you bagged him, yada, yada. And then she responded, yes. Very concisely. She just said, yes. They're together. So it's like, I feel like it's a troll.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really believe they're in any kind of relationship.
I'm disappointed in fucking Eminem. Like, come on, man. Especially after his last album where he was like rehabilitated and I'm more real, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then Nicki Minaj is just an idiot for trying to like feed into that shit. And,
She needs whatever
stir
she
the
can.
pot that way. But
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why Cardi B is beating her out as the queen
Authenticity.
is because of authenticity.
Yeah.
So, and that, I think that was the reason why Nicki Minaj lost so much of her fan base is because Nicki Minaj made her fan base off the fact that she's Barbie, that she's not
Yeah,
real.
she did. Yep.
So now we're appreciating more authenticity. I mean, just look at the different movements going on. More natural makeup, more natural hair,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
organic shit
Yes.
just going around. Like we're going back to what was more real to us because we're just overwhelmed by so much fake shit.
Yeah.
You feel? So
No, I mean that's real. That's real. I didn't even think about that she came in as kind of fake, and then even though Cardi B is whatever she is, whatever you want to call her, like she is authentic. She's real to herself. She's like, yes, I'll have sex with this amount of people, and she's completely honest about it. I was like, no, I don't feel ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of anything that I am.
hell no. I mean, her breakout song, what is it?
Bodak Yellow?
Bodak Yellow. I mean, she fucking, like, she's like, yeah, I got my teeth fixed. Yeah, I was a stripper before, but look at me. I'm rocking them red bottoms. I don't fuck with you if I don't speak to you. Like, that's been her thing, and she's always true to herself. She's, like, really her weird-ass self all the fucking time, and I love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's also a really good campaigner for Fashion Nova. Shameless drop, but
What is Fashion Nova?
Fashion Nova is this online website for women's fashion.
Okay.
And it's geared towards the like more shapely women.
All right. Okay.
So like if you like booty, if you got booty, definitely check out Fashion Nova. But they've done a really good job having Cardi B as their mascot.
Oh damn! Like I didn't even know that, but yeah, I guess so. Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Did you see any of the dreaded royal wedding?
The dreaded royal wedding.
Like I didn't care anything about it whatsoever.
I mean, I'm not gonna play like I actually care about it because I don't. I'm not British. It's not a big deal to me.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah. How can you not see that shit? It's everywhere, everywhere. Especially since Meghan Markle, the new princess, is American.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
And biracial.
Is she really?
She's black and white. Yeah.
Oh shit! Shut the fuck up.
Her dad is white. Her mom's black.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think my most favorite thing that came out of this marriage is the fire that Katie Hopkins is under.
Katie Hopkins.
Yeah, so Katie Hopkins is this like old bitch. I think she's like a reporter or something like that. I don't know really what her origins are, but she came out and was just like bagging on Meghan, saying that, you know, she's trying to be the next Kate Upton.
Yeah.
And like she's never gonna have that same class that Kate Upton brought to the
Kate
royal.
Upton?
Right? Isn't that
Kate Upton is the model with the huge tits.
Oh, is she? Wait, what is the
Kate Upton, yeah, she was a blonde,
Okay.
huge tits. She used to do the cat daddy and shake them titties back and forth.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I was into that.
Princess Kate, what's her last name? What was her?
Oh, you're talking about the
Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton, yeah, Kate
Tin.
Middleton, yeah.
Different ton.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
not
yeah.
up, not low,
No,
but
no,
middle.
middle. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, Kate Middleton, like she
Yeah.
would never have this class. So the internet again
Yeah.
decided to take that into their hands. It was like, bitch, you crazy. And they put like, so what Katie did was she put a picture side by side of Meghan and Kate saying, oh yeah, you're never gonna have the same class as Kate. And it was a comparison of their wedding dresses because they were oddly similar. Whatever. And then underneath that is just a feed of Katie, whatever the fuck, old lady bitch, next to Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is only 1 year older than her, but of course Angela Bassett looked like she
super
ain't
fine.
aged since the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
The same with Gabrielle Union.
Yep, did the
And
same thing,
then eventually, as all meme fests do, they just take it to somewhere ridiculous and they compared her to like a turtle. This tortoise is 153 years older than her,
Yeah.
still looking more class. It was so good.
I love the internet
So
because of
good.
that.
I know.
I love the internet.
Like give them a good reason to get pissed off, and it's game over for whoever they're flaming.
Yes.
I love it.
Speaking of getting flamed, I don't know if you've ever heard of a rapper from the Clips named Pusha T.
Pusha T, he just dropped his new album. Yeah, I
did.
listened to a few of his songs today.
The album is really good.
So good.
The entire thing is produced by Kanye West. That's a different subject that we can get to here in a little bit, whatever is going on with Kanye. But the Pusha T, Scoopity Poop, he even does that again on Pusha T's album.
Right, he was just like, he has a line where it's like, he spoke to Yeezy, he replied with,
Yeah, it's like, how do you respond?
Yeah.
Scoopity whoop. And I was like, oh shit, this got hot. You know, but the album came out, and on the very last song, a song called Infrared, he talks about Drake. He disses Drake once again. They had a little back and forth about 2 years ago.
Which is funny because another song on there is What Would Meek Do?
Yeah.
And didn't Meek and Drake have a thing
They did.
way back when?
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
yeah. You remember that? The back-to-back, and then he shut him down. And the reason Meek and Drake had a falling out in the first place is because Meek Mill called Drake out. He was like, I'm an authentic rapper.
Yeah.
I write my own raps. I'm real. I'm about to come out and expose you.
Yeah.
And you would think conventionally in hip-hop that does work when you expose someone.
Right.
But Drake is way bigger than conventional rap. He's a pop star.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, rap being as mainstream as it is now, it's not going to have the same kind of like rules that it had when it first came out, when it
Very
was
true.
underground. So
Yep.
it's evolved certainly,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of like the old heads and like true like the authentic rappers are feeling a type of way of where they're seeing it going.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It is what it is, though. I mean, it's changing.
Yeah,
evolving.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everything has to evolve to something if it wants to survive.
Yeah.
You know, which, by the way, speaking of drops,
Hold on, don't let me finish. The Drake thing.
Oh, okay.
So they had a little bit of a falling out.
Okay.
So Pusha T he said something about Drake at the end of his album, Infrared. It dropped yesterday, I believe. It dropped yesterday. The very same day that he said something about Drake, Drake released a response And this is how funny it is and how on the
This
internet.
feels a little like a little staged. Don't you feel
No,
that?
it very much is staged
Okay.
because just because this is the album release day, that if the world hears it, that doesn't mean that's when Drake heard it.
Oh,
You know, because they're doing
okay.
album release parties last week, and people are hearing it last week. So Drake was probably privy to hearing this upwards to 10 days ago.
Okay,
You know, he
okay.
heard it, and he was like, "Oh, you about to drop this shit? As soon as you release your album, I'm about to flame you."
I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you how much clout I really got.
And that's what happened. You know, he went out and he released it on SoundCloud. Just released it for free immediately there. As soon as the album came out, then SoundCloud replied immediately. So what happens is everyone listens to the Drake thing. People don't even know who Pusha T is. A lot of the community don't even know who it is. They hear Drake talking shit about some guy, so now they got to listen to some guy's song to find out what made Drake angry.
Oh, and so and like Drake totally took that literally stole his parade.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
And he told him
man.
if he replies back to him, then he's gonna make it even worse by putting it on television this time.
Would you say that was checkmate?
If Pusha T replies to him, then it's gonna be really bad.
It'll be. I think lyrically, Pusha T will like destroy Drake.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't matter though.
exactly, again, it's just it depends on what the internet dictates.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, but what I was gonna mention, Will Smith is about to hop
Yes.
back onto the scene.
He's back in Jiggy.
yeah.
I wish I had a SoundCloud for getting jiggy with it or something right now. Getting jiggy with it. No. Yeah.
I'm so glad though because Will Smith already. I mean, he's honestly really made his mark and
Yes, he
has
has.
been is now considered one of the timeless greats. He literally looks timeless. Like he is
Yeah.
aged so well.
Definitely is.
But you know, black don't crack.
It do not. It do not.
And then like I mean, he's also a great example of how you know, the use of social media can help you stay relevant.
Definitely
because
is. Yeah.
in literally what was it? He started his Instagram last December.
Yeah.
And has already, I think, in a week had already more followers than like a lot of other celebrities
clout.
on
clout.
on that format. So
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, Will Smith is about to make another huge comeback in his career.
Yes, he is.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the rumors about him and Jada getting divorced because that's been a rumor that's been out for a hot ass minute.
Yep, he
hot
ain't
ass
here
minute.
for it.
He ain't no. And like really, if you follow his Instagram, you know their love
Yeah.
can't
Oh, yeah.
be contested.
It cannot.
It cannot.
He ain't here for none of the bullshit, and he let you know in that song too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really feeling. I mean, it sounds like old Will Smith, and he even used the word swag. You know, 2 times. Like nobody says that anymore. Will nobody says that anymore? You know, but it's like I just like hearing like old father Will Smith out here doing something.
And it
you
kind
know?
of suits him though, if you think about it, because like back then when he came out during the Fresh Prince era and had all his music out,
Yeah.
I mean he was kind of like that cheesy rapper,
Yeah.
you know, that clean cheesy rapper that everyone was kind of like looking for. So for him to come back and kind of like, you know, do dad rap,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I think it suits him perfectly, and he'll
me too.
it'll still garner a great response.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
In like movie topics, did you see any movies in the past like couple of weeks? at all?
I've seen a few. So, A Quiet Place and Infinity War,
Okay.
Avengers,
Yep.
and Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2 too. All
Yeah.
right. So of those 3 movies, like if you had to recommend to someone listening to it right now, and they want to see one of those movies,
One
of those 3, which are you going to recommend to go see?
Oh,
You have Deadpool, A Quiet Place, and The Avengers.
They're all so different.
They
I
are.
mean, even Deadpool 2 being compared to the Avengers, they're both
different.
superhero movies, but
Yeah.
there's such different takes on it. But I think in terms of accessibility for the audience,
Yeah.
I think Deadpool 2
Deadpool
would be
2?
my recommendation.
Just for across the board.
yeah. How about you?
I'm probably between A Quiet Place and Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I feel like A Quiet Place will go over some people's heads just because, and it kind of has to some degree.
Okay.
But because like not everyone for one likes horror.
Yeah.
And there are some serious plot holes in that movie
yeah.
that like even to the casual viewer like myself because I mean I don't know if y'all know this but Chris has a background in film.
Yes.
And so myself as a casual, like I could even point those out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. As for Deadpool 2, though, I mean, it's got comedy, it's got drama,
Yep.
and it's in your face, and a lot of people are liking that in your face shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and because Ryan Reynolds has like completely embodied that
All the way.
Deadpool character,
100%.
there's so much authenticity in his
Delivery,
performance,
yeah.
in his performance.
Yep.
So, and people are really resonating with
They are.
that. So
Yeah.
again, it all comes back to the authenticity
Yeah.
of what you're putting out there.
Yeah, like only reason I'm not gonna recommend the Avengers movie is because if you haven't seen any of the previous movies,
Right.
you don't know anything about Marvel, then this movie doesn't really mean much for you.
Yeah.
But you don't have to know anything to go see Deadpool because it's a pure comedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the Marvel universe or any of that. It's just a comedy.
And mind you, this is the sequel too. Like
Yeah.
you don't even have to watch the first one to
Nope.
really, understand the second one.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I will say, I think the most jarring thing for the audience, and if you listen to For Film's Sake, you guys actually talked about this.
Check it out.
But yeah, so check it out. But is the breaking of the fourth wall.
Yes.
For some people that can be jarring if you're
Yeah.
not if you're not familiar with who Deadpool is.
Yeah.
But even then, like, it's ingratiated so well into the writing that I think it'll still translate once you get used to it.
Yeah, it's something that you don't see in movies that often. You see it a lot in television.
Yeah.
If you remember the star of The Quiet Place, what was his name? John Krasinski.
Yeah, as
from The
Jim
Office,
Halpert, in The Office.
He's very famously broken the fourth wall over and over in the television show The Office. So it's like you see it in television, but you don't see it so much in movies.
Right.
And Ryan Reynolds' character, he's breaking that fourth wall at any time in this movie.
Who wrote Deadpool 2?
Ooh, I
This
cannot
time?
remember the guy's
Is
name.
it Whitey? Because
I
he did
can't-
the
I don't-
first one,
He did the
right?
first one. I don't think he wrote this one though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember. Don't care enough to go look it up at
That's
the moment.
fair. I
either,
mean,
you
no.
know?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if it's two different directors, then good job
Mm. Yeah.
on their part for really, if you did watch the first one,
Mm.
making sure that same fan base that came from the first one can appreciate the
Yeah.
second one.
Yeah.
But also kudos to the director for still making Deadpool 2
For sure.
able to stand alone by itself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, I'm done writing Deadpool's dick. Sorry.
No, it was really funny. Like I feel like Deadpool was like one of the funniest movies that came out this year.
100%.
You
So
know?
far.
So far this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen a movie called Amateur on Netflix that was pretty good. That's the only other thing that I can really recommend that I've seen lately.
Okay. What is that one about?
It's a basketball kid. He's
Okay.
8th grade, really good at basketball, but he has an advanced form of dyslexia. So he can't even read the shot clock. So the 24-second shot clock can't even understand that, to the point to where his coach has to yell to him to let him know what the shot clock
Okay.
says, even to the point where not understanding his left from his right. So he
Okay.
can't even run plays to the left or the right. His father has the exact same form of mental illness.
Okay.
He's growing up from poverty, and then he's dealing with a basketball league that's pretty corrupt.
Okay.
So I mean, it's all of those things into one. If I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10, it's like a 6.5. If you really enjoy basketball, then it's going to keep your attention though.
Okay, cool. And I can see the drama stemming from that because, to be an athlete in school, you got to have good grades. So I can see that.
Yeah.
What I really appreciate that, having not even seen it, just hearing the premise of it, is the fact that it brings, different kinds of mental illness to light.
Yes.
And that's something that I've really loved seeing the growth in our society in terms of like talking about mental illness, because now hopefully as a mental illness sufferer, I'm excited to see how our society will change in helping those with mental illness as opposed to condemning them.
Yes.
Because that's always been the issue, right? Like, oh, you're a basket case. Oh, you're fucking crazy. You're psycho. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're just sad. You're not depressed.
Yep.
Oh, you don't have ADD. You just have, like, it's just an excuse because you have bad attention span. Like, no,
Yeah.
like, these diseases are
real.
real.
Yeah.
And, they need to be properly addressed so that way we can finally help those who need it.
That would be great.
And so I'm excited to see that there's finally a platform for those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just seeing something on the internet when I was scrolling through Twitter, and it was saying the qualifications that you needed in order to be a princess and to be a royal.
Okay.
And see, the rules of being a royal include no social media, no dark nail polish, and no miniskirts, among other things.
Wait, pause. No social media?
Yeah, no social media.
doesn't make fucking sense to me. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't do it.
okay. I mean, so there are people out there who don't have social media, like you said just earlier in the show. But like, as a public figure, how are you not?
I guess they do it differently over there. Like, I mean, the part that I was weird out about, besides this no social media, I was kind of like, okay, but the no dark nail polish?
Well,
like,
so dark nail polish historically, along with a lot of other beauty standards for women, are that are constantly degraded.
Yeah.
Is seen as a uniform for more.
Provocative.
I didn't want to say promiscuous because that wouldn't have been accurate. But provocative women. So the same thing. I'm pretty sure they probably can't wear dark lipstick. She probably can't have short hair until she's like at a certain stature. Like there's probably a lot of stupid ass rules like that.
That's insane.
Matter of fact, at my job, they recently set out a new dress code with even more restrictions on it. To where we used to be able to wear short or sleeveless tops as long as it was like a couple fingers width.
Okay.
Now we can't have our shoulders showing at all. I'm like, really? Are we reverting back to that?
No shoulders.
I'm sorry. Are my shoulders distracting?
I mean, but they won't let males show their shoulders either, though.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
See,
but
like I have a problem with double standards. Like, I mean, if it's going to be across the board, it's across the board. They had a thing in high school to where they would let girls wear hats, but boys could not wear hats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like because the parents don't have time to deal with little girls' hair every morning, so they can just put a hat on them and it's just kind of part of their hair or their style or whatever.
Yeah.
Was upset about that shit. Upset. I just wanted to be fair across the board for everybody.
Right. I mean, hey, there's misogyny and there's also double standards, and it exists on both ends.
Yeah.
But I think it's bullshit the kind of restrictions we put on people.
Yes.
In terms of what we view as moral.
Yeah.
Like. If I want to show my fucking shoulders, let me show my fucking shoulders.
Shoulder.
Yeah, it's like I cannot think of one person that has gotten a hard on because I flashed a little of my.
Maybe I would. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in a work situation and there's a little bit of shoulder going on and that's all that I can really think about, because like it's different from just seeing like a naked lady and it's just bare, everything's in front of you. But when you have to use your imagination and you give a little bit of your imagination to work with, it's like you can kind of tear that apart a little bit.
Okay, but here's my argument, and I always come back to that, come back to this argument when it comes to rules based off morality.
Yeah.
There was a reason why in the very beginning we established a separation of church and state.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of these rules of morality come from a Christian or Catholic background.
Yeah, Christian. Yeah.
Or base. So it's just like, I mean.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree. It's like I want to be able to show my shoulders.
I'm to the point where I'm speechless because I can't even express to you how frustrating all these dumbass rules are.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. You just got to work within them and exploit them anytime that you can.
But hey, this is America.
This is America. Hey, actually do have a sound clip for that, but Is there anything else that was like popping off that was trending at all that you want to talk about?
Shit. Like, I don't know. Let me pull up my list of interesting shit to talk about. No, I mean, honestly, I can't really think of anything that much right now about what was trending.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that with how society is moving towards in terms of just socio-political and just how we're communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna get fucked up, and this show is gonna definitely take advantage of it.
Oh hell yeah, most definitely, 100%, 100%. So that looks like that does it. Very first episode in the bag. Hope you guys enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoyed making it. And we'll be back with another episode next week. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Do we want to drop our handles really quick?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Where you go ahead.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram at Lil Pandy Burr, like Gucci Burr.
Burr.
So that's LILPANDYBURR.
Burr. All right, and I'm it's on Twitter. I'm at THA_VONZ. Hey. And under my Twitter, you'll be able to find every link that you can follow this podcast on. So check us out on Twitter. So that is about it.
Thanks, guys.
Late.
Psych! That's the wrong number!